Now let's kind of dive into the live demo. I'm going to walk you through building a simple interactive dashboard from scratch. We'll set it up using Streamlit. We'll create the basic structure, and I'll explain each step in detail so you can follow along if you want. By the end of the demo, hopefully you'll have a better understanding of how Streamlit works and how you can create your own dashboards or web apps. So over here, we have a supermarket sales dashboard, right? So this is built using Streamlit. So as you can see, there are filters here. You can select different branches, let's say, and it would get updated almost instantly. You have different visualizations here. You can look at sales and ratings by product line. You can by customer type. You can look at the sales by payment method. You can look at the sales trends over time as well. And you have a date filter as well. So let's say if I want to see till only January, there you go, it gets updated. And it's hosted using GitHub. So if I click over here, it'll take me to the GitHub code and there it is. Let's try to replicate this. If we go over here and so this is the same code. And what we want to do is we're just going to create a new text file. I've created a requirements.txt. Now what you can do, you can write some of the libraries that we'll use. In this case, we're going to use mainly Streamlit. We're going to use Pandas. We're going to use Plotly. So you can just create a requirements.txt, and I've created a Python environment. You can either create a requirements.txt. It would be necessary for Streamlit, but you can also install using pip install. In my case, they're already installed. So you can just do this and run it and install the library for you. So what we can do here, we'll just name this as app.py, and let's import the libraries, right? So import Streamlit as st or pandas as pd. We've imported them, and now let's try and run this, right? So the command to run it is Streamlit run app.py, since that's the name of our app. So if you do this, as you can see, it launches up and it shows nothing right now since we've written nothing. So let's try to write some code on it. Let's say I want to change the name of the page. Right now it says Streamlit, or if I can just change that. So the way to do it in Streamlit is we can use the set underscore page underscore config, and we can just do page title here. Oh, sorry. And we can write supermarket sales dashboard. And we have the option of choosing a different layout. So we're going to go with a wide layout, let's say. If you just go back, now as you can see, it says the source file has changed. So we can either click always rerun. I don't usually do that, but we can just click rerun for now. And as you can see, the name of the tab has changed here. So that's what that does. Now let's say we want to add a title, right? So we go st.title, which is the command for it, and we'll just write supermarket sales. If I go over here, it says supermarket. Now, a way that I did it and it's totally optional right now. You can write some HTML and CSS. So it's okay if you don't understand this. It's entirely optional. So I can write the background color here. I can give it some padding, and I can write a heading tag. Now, again, it's entirely optional. If you don't understand what it does is if you just go here and rerun, now look at that. Now you can add a logo there. You can change it to any color you want. That's entirely up to you. If you want, for now, we can just keep it like that. So let's try loading the data now. So we're going to define a function called load data, and we're going to give it a argument or parameter. We're going to use the pandas function read underscore CSV. And since the name of our file, it's since you just given it file path, we'll write file path. We can also add another thing, which is a Streamlit feature. Now it uses cache data, right? So if we write st.cache underscore data, now what this does is it makes sure this only runs once when the file changes. So you don't have to you don't have to load the data again and again. Now, this is useful when you have large amounts of data, so the app doesn't become any slower. It makes the app quite faster. It only runs the load data function once and it'll store it. So that's quite useful here. We can use it here. I mean, the data that we have today isn't quite large, but we'll still use it. What we will do is data.path, and we'll give it our path, which is supermarket underscore sales.csv, and we'll call the load data function and we'll do data path. Now we want to see if this actually works. So let's just do st.dataframe and data.head. Now what this will do, it'll load the file and print it for us. And if you just go back, okay, there you go. And it can show the data for us. So we have an invoice ID, we have branches, we have cities, customer type, and a date column as well. So One thing about this, so the date column, which we have here right now, is a text column. So we want to use this for filtering later, and it won't allow us unless we change it, right? So a way to do that is we can just change this function here. What we can do is we can write date and dd. Now Pandas offers a to-date time function. So it'll change the text to date. And now, as you can see, it's in the date format.